Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm Big Al. My partner in crime, the Professor. And the boys from Inside the Squared Circle, David Motorman. And the one and the only, the living legend, the Wolfman. What's up, everybody?
This way.
Not much. I'm here. I had a great time last night.
Yeah?
You barely talked to me, and that was a good thing.
I barely talked to you?
Yeah, you talked to me once or twice, and you were in there being.
I was a little bit busy with a microphone. I mean, you don't blame the Professor for being over there running his mouth at the table.
You should probably blame the Professor. I don't think you and I exchanged more than 2 words last night.
I think you said hi and goodbye.
That was it, see?
Yeah.
So remember, last time on, so guys, this past Wednesday, and if you haven't checked them out, check out Inside the Square Circle on Wednesday nights on WNEP locally, channel 16, or on Wolfman's Facebook page. You were running your mouth about a certain individual whose name is JT Cage. And you called him a coward and a chicken for not calling in your show. Is that correct?
I sure did.
Well,
somebody
I have a surprise for you.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
do not.
JT Cage and the Hat Guy.
What's up, mother?
You always have JT Cage. I know how your nose turns brown.
You had all that to talk. And Hat Guy is here too. Can we get the proper introductions? Like, damn.
The original Hat Guy, by the way.
God.
Your husband and wife together.
Wolfman, you got so much to say about me. So much to say about me on Wednesday. I was trying to do my bingo thing. But here we are now.
You got to do your bingo stuff because you're just an old man with a bad heart and can't do crap.
Wolf. Whoa. I gotta have half a heart to whoop you again like I used to do.
Hey, you know what? All you got to do is sign the paper and you and I can go a second time.
Oh, we can go. We can go. We can bring back that hardcore title.
Either it could be at WWA or I could find a place to do it at.
It could be in the alley. I don't care.
How about at your club?
I'm back, baby.
Well, we know you are, but that's your problem. That's what
I'm about to rip the headphones off his head. Pat, you better talk, because, no. Hey, Wolf.
Don't let your girlfriend talk, because if your girlfriend talks, then we got to listen to a crybaby.
Crybaby? There ain't nobody crying here, Wolf.
Liabilities.
Anytime, any place.
Hey, I watched you get knocked on your ass twice last night. You want knocked on your ass again by me?
Hey, we don't gotta talk about any of that. You
gotta blame this all on. You gotta blame this all on Al because Al brought them 2 knuckleheads to the show.
I'm saying we got
Keith. You're looking stupid as usual. How are you, Professor Stupid?
How are you? And by the way, last night, did you sucker us in that opening segment? Was it a trap all along? Or do you have a problem with Donnie Bambino, as you said, having your Extreme Championship? I'd like to know.
No comment. I plead the fifth. Don't worry about what our tactics are. Don't worry about what we doing.
Exactly. No comment. Cool.
Yeah. What's up, David Motormouth?
Not much, man. you were out.
Shut up. We don't really care what you got to say. We really don't.
David,
We
David,
really
you
don't.
gotta wait. You got this opportunity, David. You don't get to talk to Cage much. He didn't call your show, so why ask him a question? Ask him anything you want.
Absolutely. That man's got the right shirt on to ask some questions.
Ask him.
I don't even know what to ask him. I mean, he don't call in or whatever. We invite him to call in. He don't call in. Why should I waste my time now?
Wow. You're graced. I am blessing you with the greatness of me right now, and you have nothing to ask of me or the hat.
He got nothing to say.
Wow.
It should be Motor Mouth.
That's what I said. David Motormouth.
Well, he at least shows up when he's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, you know what? Why are we even on this show? Why
I don't
are we
know.
on this show?
This was straight
I don't know. You can go away anytime.
Yeah.
I just made my grand return. We made our grand return to the 3WA. We made our grand return, and we put people on notice.
You know, what I
Robot
want to
Chapter
know,
4,
you made
he
your
know
grand
what's up.
return, but you were both out at the same time. So, did you guys get married or what?
You know what? Why are we on this interview?
You know, you and Motorman make a great couple yourself.
Well, at least we're still in the closet. You guys came out yesterday.
Oh, you sons of bitches. Why are we on this show? I don't even know why I phoned in. Alan.
Well, Al.
You know, Wolfman, I've known you for a long time. I've managed your career.
Yeah, you stole a lot of money from me.
I never took a damn dime from you.
You took more than a dime.
Let me tell you, Wolfman.
You know how many hotel bills I had to pay because you left before I got out the door?
I've heard some numbers on that.
You know what, Wolf? I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm going to be totally serious with you right now.
Okay.
Wow,
You still got a couple years, good years left, I believe. I think in my heart, and believe me, and listen to me when I tell you this.
Okay.
I think that I can manage you again.
Oh my God.
Because you know what? You're surrounded by a lot of false influences.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that did you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this. Okay.
I could be beneficial for your wrestling career as you know, as long as you're ready to, as long as you're still willing to wrestle in this business. I could still provide you with a great living in professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I could.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people out
I know
there.
you probably could. I know you probably could, but you know, they say, screw me once, shame on me, but screw me twice.
I never screwed you over.
Heck,
Your problem is you cater to the fans. And I told you a long time ago, the fans don't do crap for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the fans don't do crap for me, well, how come every time I go out there, they cheer me, they love me, they call the hat guy a piece of crap, tell him to go away, pick his
They
nose,
call me all kind of names.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've been very successful over the years. I've had my downfalls. Oh yes, that is true. I've had my downfalls.
You did have your downfalls.
But
You got
I've had a lot of
right
ups
now.
too. I've had a lot of ups as well. But you know what, Wolfman? I think for the few years that you might still have in professional wrestling, I think we can work together.
You know what? I bet we could work together. You know what? As you being my manager, I'll take you as my manager. But the first match I want you to set up for me is me versus JT Cage.
Wait.
In a cage.
Why would you want?
And I'll buy the cage.
What? No, see that?
Wolf,
Now,
we could be tag team
you want to become
champions.
Tag team champions.
Yeah. Tag team champions. What?
all-
Wolf
that
in the
means-
cage.
That means you'd make me do all the work. JT Cage, you're lazy.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Listen, look,
You did me foul.
I've seen you when you're nasty, when you're mean. And that
That's
is
all
the
the time.
wolf man that I want to manage. I've seen you have fun in that ring and just play around. That's not the wolf man I want to see.
Mm-mm.
The wolf man that plays around in that ring doesn't appeal to me, and it doesn't do you any good either.
So what
You
you're,
need
what
to
you're
be
saying,
mean. You need to be vicious. And I've seen you be mean and vicious in that ring.
Hell, he
And-
did it to me. He took a cheese grater to my head.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what, that is the wolf man. That is the wolf man.
so
that-
what you're saying,
That is the successful wolf man.
you want the wolf man that took this belt from
It's
your
off the shelf.
from your man.
Yes.
Huh? This belt right here, JT Cage, it's retired. I'm not retired, but the hardcore title is retired. But we can work a hardcore match. We don't need the title. And I still got a couple cheese graters with your name on.
I got this. I got this. I got this.
What
I
are
got
you
all of this. I got all of this. You know what? You're gonna present that title in my face like that. Okay, I'll tell you what. You name the time, you name the place. I will defeat you in a hardcore match because I never have. I will be real with you. I think we've had 3 hardcore type matches in our careers, and I've never beaten you in any of them. No, I lie. I buried your ass at a coffin match. You remember that?
With the ether.
With
so-
help.
Remember that?
I remember that very
Yeah,
well.
I remember. You did it with help, but that's
Help!
beside
I
the point.
smelled that ether.
Hell.
I smelled it.
Oh, the ether. Oh, God. Come on. Come on.
You don't think I can smell ether, really?
That was not ether. That was vapes oil, the vape stuff. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
It's
Vicks.
probably from his
It
bad
was
breath
Vicks.
that
He
he had.
was
Some Vicks
sniffling
Baker Rub.
throughout the whole match, and I wanted to clear his sinuses.
It was so
Ow.
much.
What did you do, Al?
What did I do?
You had to. You offered me to come onto your show,
Yeah.
and then you have brought 2 idiots on there to attack me. One wants to kiss my butt and make me or have me make him my manager again.
No, I
The other
don't.
one just wants to run his mouth.
Well, here's
I
my
don't
here's my
kiss ass.
here's my. Can I respond to that, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
My
Yeah,
response to that is that I asked you when I called into your show on Wednesday if you would like to talk to this guy, and so I offered him the invite at your request. You wanted to talk to him.
You wanted me. You wanted all of this. You wanted all of this, Wolf. You wanted it.
Calm down.
Yeah, he wanted it. He wanted it.
Calm down, JT.
I got the message. It was received. I just responded.
Talk to the head.
Oh, now I got to talk to a head. I got to talk to a head. I got to talk to a head.
Well, I think that, like I said before, the few years that you have left in this business, we could make magic in that ring. The Wolfman, managed by the original hat guy. And I would love to see you be as mean and as vicious as you ever were in your whole entire life.
Me too.
You could do it. You don't need the fans. I'm telling you this, Wolfman.
You don't need the fans. You don't need management. Just be free.
And you don't need to wrestle JT Cage, which I think is really the headline here.
Shut up, Keith.
Yeah, shut up. Exactly.
Wolf, I
Professor.
want you to think about it before you call me and him any more names. I would love to manage what's left of your professional wrestling career.
Yeah, he doesn't have to make a decision tonight, right?
No, I'm not asking him to make. I'm not asking him to make a decision tonight. I want him to really seriously think about this because I think it would be successful.
Because that Wolfman I fought when I lost the hardcore title, that's the Wolfman I think deserves to be on that stage. That's the Wolfman I think deserves to be out there. And this is me giving you kudos. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not nothing. I'm just
Well-
saying that Wolfman I fought that night, that anniversary show, was it the 41st anniversary show
Yep.
that I fought in that opening contest in that match? Everyone is dying to see that Wolfman again. Think about it.
But I
You
agree
really,
with that.
do you really want that Wolfman?
Yeah.
Because
Everyone wants that Wolfman.
if
That's right. And with the proper guidance, you, my friend, are going places.
I'll tell you right now, if I would ever decide to take a manager again, I think I'd go with somebody new. I think I'd go with the professor.
Oh.
Oh, the
I would-
professor. Get out of
I
here.
would
I'm
put the
hanging up the
professor.
phone.
I'll take the professor as my manager.
Oh,
And
goodness.
you want
Go
a
to bed.
badass?
Go to
You
bed.
want a badass? I'll bet you.
Wolfman, please,
I'm coming out of the
seriously,
booth. It's gonna
I
be
want
for
you
the
to
Wolfman.
seriously think about this. Think about it.
I'm hanging up.
I can do wonders. for you.
I'm hanging up.
Gentlemen,
I'm
thanks
out
for
of that
joining us.
booth.
Have a good night. Okay, there they go.
I'm coming out of that booth.
I'll tell
It's
you
gonna
what.
be for the Wolfman. I've been on the record about that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
those gentlemen know
it's all your
we
fault,
have
Al.
hold harmless agreements. We have everything else. But if I get that license and the hat guy wants to do what the hat guy does, I can't touch JT Cage. But the agreement I signed says absolutely nothing about the hat guy.
Okay.
I can see
Okay.
that her manager-
You talk, Wolfman, you often talk about him making my head big by putting me over, and then you're gonna go and say something like that if you needed a manager, he's the only guy you'd choose.
I have to
You-
spend money to do
He's
that.
never
It's
he's
not
he's
about-
never done anything wrong to me, has he? The
Not
hat
yet.
guy, the hat guy
What did
screwed
I
me
do?
over so many times. I can't count on my right hand.
What have I done
Okay.
to the Wolfman? Let's talk about that. What have I done to the Wolfman?
Nothing yet. I said nothing.
Nothing yet.
What do you think I'll do to the Wolfman wrong?
I have no idea, Professor,
You-
what you're capable
What do you
of. I
think
really don't.
know?
You've never
You
been
know
in
me a
that
long
position, so
time.
you know,
You think
in the
I'm-
heat of the battle, who knows?
You think I'm capable of, especially if it's a battle of the Wolfman against JT Cage?
I
the
just
hat
want to know
guy,
if
the
you're
the bad family. You think I'm gonna ever give the bad family anything, any kind of
would-
props, anything at all?
if you are
You
in
don't know.
Wolfman's corner, who's calling carnage during that match? That's what I want to know.
Well, I guess
Dave,
it's
there
gonna
you go,
be
Dave.
I guess it's going to be you and Dazzling Dez, because you know what, Dazzling
I'll
Dez,
take Dave.
Dez did a hell of a job last night.
Well, let me tell you something. That young man did one heck of a job
Yes,
on
he did.
commentating last night with you.
Yes, he did.
And now, I'm gonna give you kudos. You did a good job last night. You did a good job of announcing and everything.
Thank you.
You didn't stutter and carry on, so you did good.
There was a stealth fist bump between him and JT Cage, though, but okay, it
But
happened.
you know what? That happened.
They
You
didn't
know,
get that on camera.
JT Cage. He's got to go out and buy a new computer, so he's probably JT Cage and them probably wrote a check for him so he can go get his new computer now because he put him on there to harass me.
It's
Yeah.
probably check play bounce.
Yeah.
Trust funds are great that way.
I've been in this business for 45 years.
Yeah.
You
I
have.
brought JT Cage to the show
Yeah.
in Triple WA.
Yep.
I can say that guy didn't make JT Cage. The Wolfman made JT Cage because a Wolfman beat up on that young man and showed him what he needed to do, but he couldn't get the job done without cheating. He beat me once. All right.
Yeah.
And
I smell-
maybe we
smell
should.
that.
I'm not ready to retire, but to get back in that ring, whatever I got to do to get back in that ring, if I got to put my career or whatever on the line.
Whoa. Wolf, if I'm in the corner for your career, I don't know.
I am ready
I know,
to
I
do
know
whatever
you
I got to
believe
do
in
to
me,
get my
but
hand. But if I beat JT Cage, I want 10 minutes with the hat guy.
Oh,
Well, there we go.
I'm not confident in
All you
myself.
guys got to do. All you guys got to do is talk to Paul. Talk to the powers to be
Oh,
in WWA.
There you go, Professor.
I know the fans.
You want to be a
would love
manager?
to
Go
see-
manage.
you're
The
right.
fans would love to see the
Right.
Wolfman in that ring one more time.
You're right.
All right. This has been Inside the Square Circle. I'm Al. That's the Professor. We'll see y'all later.
Oh,
No,
right.
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, very conspicuous that we're at 20 minutes and you want to be out right now. I smell fear. I smell fear from you.
I smell beef stew downstairs. That's what it is.
I'm sure you do smell beef stew down
You don't miss a meal.
downstairs, and it smells conspicuously
Well,
like.
you know what?
Because
My partner's sitting there being all quiet.
I'm motivated.
Wait,
I'm
let the
already
Wolfman.
having-
Can you let the Wolfman talk? You're talking over the Wolfman.
Let Dave,
Go ahead.
Dave
Wolf.
say something.
Yeah.
Guys.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
Dave,
Wolf.
what's
What'd you
up?
say?
I said, let Dave talk. Hi,
Oh,
Dave.
let-
I see he's sitting there just listening. He talks
Right.
big on my show.
I
Yeah,
didn't have
Dave,
to.
come on, talk to us.
I owe Keith a slap anyways, it says. Go to bed.
You know what happens if you try to do a slap, if I slap you, if anything, you know what happens.
Well, I mean, if you're the manager in the corner, it's fair game in my book.
You sign that paper to be a manager, you're fair game there, Al.
Fair game, buddy. Fair game. Dave, go ahead and talk, buddy. You've been quiet there during this whole melee going on.
Certainly held me back.
Get word in, but I was okay. I was enjoying the fun. But I tell you one thing, I mean, you got Wolfman. He's the current Valor Primus champion. I mean,
Primus champion, that's right.
Right now.
And I just got done doing a gruesome casket match over the last weekend. You know? So I won the casket match. I'm still the champion there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Now what does that tell you? It tells you that nobody tried to use an ether-soaked rag on the Wolfman because I was there. I called that show. I smelled that ether. I was at the building. I smelled the ether. JT Cage can say all he wants, but he'll get medical records on my nose to say that my nose is faulty somehow. I smelled ether all day. He soaked it that badly. And that's how he beat the Wolfman in that casket match. And this is just more evidence that the Wolfman was not at tip-top form in that casket match. It's a BS victory for JT Cage. Just saying.
That's not the special ingredient that JT Cage uses in his chili, is it?
you know, we don't want to go to the chili contest because you know as well as I do, the only reason he won that contest is because he was the only one in the contest.
Wow.
Right? It could be.
All right, guys. Switching. Let's switch topics to. You guys often when you guys are on Inside the Square Circle, you guys like to talk a lot of any kind of wrestling that's ever going on. So you like to talk about WWE. So I mean, what's going on lately that's got your interest? Has anything got your interest? What do you guys think of the Usos reuniting on Friday? Did you see that?
Are they going to reunite?
They did.
And
Friday.
I know they hugged up and everything.
Oh, okay.
I know they hugged up and everything, but why? I mean, he had a belt. He was doing good by himself, but now they're raking back into the group. And where does his stuff go now? He's back with his uncle and his brother again.
Great point, I think, because
Yeah.
it's all
That
about,
would be like
it's all about options, right? Because we could do Jay's back in 100%, or maybe Jay still thinks there's something with him and Braun Breaker, or maybe another belt somewhere else. Maybe he's looking for a little support to still continue the singles run, or maybe he's decided, okay, Jimmy and I have dominated the tag team division. Let's go to a tag team division, rebuild, and then go after that singles title, because I love tag team wrestling.
their tag team wrestling right now is garbage.
I know,
Yeah.
and that really hurts me as a person and as a fan because I love tag team wrestling. When I get to call a tag team match anywhere, I try to sing the praises and the virtues of tag team wrestling because I want promoters, at least the ones I work for, to understand tag team wrestling is important and it can be a draw and it can do things for your promotion. Don't ever, ever, ever discount tag team wrestling. And I'm about to puke in my mouth because I'm looking at the comments and I'm going to agree with this guy. And I hate myself for
Mr. Cage has mentioned that the brand new WWE Tag Team Champions are the Motor City Machine Guns.
and I'm very happy
So
about
that's
it.
where, yeah. So that's where the tag team division, Wolf, I
ruined
think,
it.
is taking a
You
turn for the better.
ruined it for me.
NXT
ruined it.
Halloween Havoc is tonight.
Yes, yes.
Is anybody watching it?
No, I'm not
My
watching it
son's
right
there.
now.
It's in Hershey. It's in Hershey.
It's up in Hershey,
My,
yeah.
my son is there. Shout out to
Yeah,
my
you
son.
know what? I actually wanted to go. I actually wanted to go to Hershey tonight, but
Yeah.
I had an obligation
Yeah.
and I wanted to fulfill it. I honestly believe that's where Bliss might be tonight because I know
Okay.
he
Very
had a
true.
chance to be in. He had a chance to be one of the extras on the show up
Great
there
for
tonight.
him.
So
Awesome.
him and a couple other guys
Congratulations,
went
though,
up.
to the Motor
Yeah.
City Machine Guns, because that just, I think, really that gave a lot of hope in this area, because a lot of the guys in this area that we know and love and we've seen in the ring, Dave, have wrestled these guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, to all the dog nations in the world, man, you know, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
going to say. I mean, we've all been privileged to watch Dog Nation, you know, around the Indies here in Pennsylvania. I mean, and they're spreading out, you know, going international. So it's great. You know, wish them guys Godspeed and just appreciate the fact that we got to watch them, you know, move and groove, and hope they can continue moving.
Oh
on.
man, Dave, will you lose your mind if they showed up on NXT or something like that?
I would love it, man. It'd be like,
I am privileged that I've called Dog Nation matchups, including I was able to do play-by-play on a matchup between Dog Nation and Carlito, who is now signed to WWE, and Chris Masters, who is
Masters.
and
I was
Dog
right there with
Nation-
you, brother.
And Dog Nation held their own in that matchup. They were not successful, but they held their own.
Yes, they did.
And it was definitely a great matchup. And Dog Nation is probably the greatest secret anywhere in the tag team division of professional wrestling as a sport.
Mm-hmm.
As a sport right now.
Yep.
Whoever signs Dog Nation right now, you have made your tag team division the tag team division, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
In the sport right now.
So the point is, Wolf, it's getting, but you said it was trash, but it is getting better with Motor City Machine Guns in there.
Well,
To a degree.
it might get better,
Mm-hmm.
but right now, I mean, right now they got a team to build off of.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Who are they going to work?
Okay. They got a team to build off of. Who, like you said, who are they going to work? Maybe they're going to put Jay and Jimmy back together because Jay and Jimmy was a good tag. They held the tag team division together back when they were younger.
For 10 years.
You know, and they kept it what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roman came onto the scene, and they broke the tag team up. And the tag team, them guys, they didn't do anything. I don't see the other two that had the belts, the two from the other bloodline. I didn't see anything in them. They were from over. I never actually seen them guys wrestle before.
Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, you mean?
Yeah, I never seen them wrestle before. They've always been overseas.
Jacob
You know?
fought too, though. I think there's something there with him, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
Jacob too, I think got something.
Yeah, so I mean, the reason why the Usos got back together is because we're getting closer to Survivor Series, and you're going to end up having Bloodline versus Bloodline, right? So
Right.
the question will be, who's going to be the fourth guy on Roman's team? That's going to be the question. I mean, there's speculation of it could be Sami Zayn or it could be some other people, but you know, and what is The Rock? Does The Rock fit into this at all? Like, there's different things. So,
As big as ego that man has, he'll be involved somehow.
maybe.
But it is Cody, the guy that comes to Roman. Do we bury that hatchet? I mean, look,
I don't know.
You've been in the
That's-
business.
that's a great
45
question.
Years. What do you think?
What's that?
Well, if you've been in the business a long time, is it? Do you think
know,
Cody should or could?
I don't think he should, but if
Okay.
he does, if he would, I would believe after it was all said and done with, they would attack him, and then it would be set up for WrestleMania again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think?
But
if
I'll
put
tell you
them
who
on
I'd like to
the
see.
team-
You know who I'd like to see on that team?
Please.
KO.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay.
Oh, that could work.
I don't know when his contract's up almost, isn't it? Like, I don't know if he's all the way to Survivor Series.
There's a lot of bullshit going around on the internet about he signed this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah,
With KO right now, if you're doing what you're doing with KO, you at least have a very strong verbal agreement to the point that we're just talking about dollars and cents in terms of a contract. Because
Right.
having been someone who ran a company, you're not going to give someone a big push unless you are confident that you can get that guy back and you can get that guy to come to the next show and finish that storyline, correct?
Yeah, I would. But look what happened with Ricochet.
That is fair. That is fair.
His contract was up. They wanted to keep him. They were giving him a push, and then all of a sudden, it went away.
Right.
Sure, there is that.
And
But
was it because they spent money to bring the machine guns in, and they couldn't afford what Ricochet wanted? Who knows?
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that because I mean, the machine guns are great. I'm not trying to downplay the machine guns in any way, but they're older guys who had never been there, so maybe they would take a discount to just get those belts. But I think Ricochet was just unhappy and wanted to go where he wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like a Kevin Owens, because a Kevin Owens, I think we all know what a talent Kevin Owens is. And you're not going to give him a main event level story if you're not confident that you can finish that story.
Yeah, I don't see Kevin going anywhere.
I don't either.
I don't. I'm hoping he doesn't. Where would he go? AEW.
Right. And I mean, look, all due respect to AEW, but are they going to use Kevin better than WWE can?
I don't see how.
I don't either.
Unless they bring him in and put the belt on him right away or something like that. Who knows? You don't.
Then where do you go? The belt's on him immediately. Where do you go with that?
Yeah.
True. And AEW doesn't really have a history of using folks properly neither.
No.
AEW, well, my opinion is that AEW was like, what was the other organization that Eric Bischoff ran? I think he's just bringing guys in at leaving the E just to bring them in.
WCW?
Yeah, I think that's what you know he's doing.
I think so too. I think that's his frame of reference for how to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Is
he brought.
the WCW model.
I mean, who knows?
Right. I mean, we could be wrong. We don't know what's in Tony Khan's head. We don't know, but we can, make an educated guess based off of what we see.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're older gentlemen, all of us. We've had a little more experience with
Hey.
wrestling than some of our, peers right now.
I am 23 years old at heart, and I'll always be 23 years at heart until the day they take me out of that ring in a body bag.
Yeah.
That's I would rather go at home, but if I can get in the ring and I can go, and as I don't plan on hanging on much longer. I'll be honest with you. I'm actually thinking there's days going by it. I got a job right now. If my job could go full time as a security guard, I think the wrestling world, the independent wrestling world, would have to say goodbye to the Wolfman. That's I'm my body is beat. I'm getting old. I know that, but I'm not quite ready to say. I will never say I quit.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to step away or something like that, then I would do it. But I have a lot of memories, and I have made a lot of friends. Even if I pick on Al a lot, and I pick on everybody else,
You know you love me.
I made a lot of friends in this business.
Yeah. And you mentored a lot of people in this business.
Yeah, and
You
the
gave
dogs. I'd love to see the dogs and them make it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see everybody. I'd love to see everybody in SWO right now. Even if I don't want to say a lot about SWO, I think each and every one of them guys over there are trying to make it. Maybe they need to try a little bit better without the curse words and everything, but
Shout out to Merrick, Miami.
I could only do what I did for them.
Yeah, I will say right now, SWO is making me better as a commentator, and I would not have that opportunity if you would not vouch for me and offer that spot to me.
See, though, I didn't vouch for you. I owned the organization. I brought you in.
But you
It
did.
was my decision. It was
Yes,
their
that's what
decision to keep you when they finally let me go.
Yeah, he needs to hear that because
You
he
gave-
needs to hear that because he's
you
his
gave
own
that
wolf. He's his own worst critic.
I am.
And he sometimes I get it because I have people tell me I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, and sometimes it's too good to be true because I'm just like him. I don't think I'm that good at this, but to hear that from them who have been doing this and hear that praise, it's kind of hard for guys like me and Keith to take that because we've been in this, for a cup of coffee, but at the same time, he needs to hear you say that yes, you did bring him in as commentator, but he earned staying.
Right, you earned it. You didn't. You didn't. You're not there because I made them keep you or anything like that.
Yeah,
you're there because you made yourself
valuable, an asset versus a not.
That's right.
You're right.
Just like Al.
But you gave me that opportunity.
Right.
I want everyone to
Just
know
like Al
gave me that opportunity.
Look at Dave. Dave was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dave didn't know nothing about going on TV and talking about wrestling and everything. Okay, but look at Dave now. Dave sits alongside of me on Wednesday nights when he can, and I can actually walk away from the screen
Mm-hmm.
and Dave can keep the show going without me sitting alongside of it.
Okay, so I got something to offer you, and you could say yes or you could say no. But JT Cage, the real JT Cage, not JT Cage the Ruiner, wants to come back on here without the hat guy and talk to you man to man. Is that a yes or a no?
Like I said, JT Cage, I got a lot of respect for him.
I mean the human being.
Bring him on.
Okay.
You can do the human being.
Well,
Gotta
So, guys,
human being.
Hi, hi, man. How you doing?
I don't know how well I can hear. When we did the last thing, I couldn't hear that well. But no, I just wanted to harken back to what you guys were just talking about, and that's why I wanted to come back on. Wolf, you have really like helped a lot of people's careers in this business, including mine, and I'm always going to be grateful for that. You know what I mean? That's why like Hat and I are like, we would love to have one more run with you on our side and stuff like that. But no, I started in this business back in 2009 for CZW. That's where I trained. I got to train at the infamous ECW arena for 2 years and stuff. And until an injury happened and I couldn't do it anymore for a while. And it was Wolf that was like, hey, like I was coming to you guys' shows since 2015. Up till 2019, I want to say. I was going to Zerns a lot. I lived in Douglasville. So I was going to Zerns in Gilbertsville. And I accidentally found out about 3WA. I didn't know about Worldwide Wrestling Alliance until then. And yeah, I was going to all the shows and stuff like that. And finally, 2019, they started coming to Coventry Mall. And I was like, man, this is close enough, and I have some training experience. It's been a while, you know, but Wolf brought me right to Dino and was like, yeah, like I remember you go, you're a wrestler, right? You wrestle, you're a worker. I'm like, well, technically not. He's like, come with me. Just like kind of kidnapped me. It was like, come with me. Yeah, I'll never forget the date. I actually have the ticket still. I bought a ticket for the date that I debuted. I bought a ticket stub for it. It was February 23rd, 2019. I have the ticket stub and I'll show it to you one day, Wolf. And that's the night I was at Southside smoking a cigarette. I didn't know if I should just go in. I don't know what should I do. I just know I had a meeting with Dino to just talk about it and see if I can get a tryout match. And you brought me right to him. He's like, all right, get ready.
Yeah.
And we were off to the races. You remember this night?
Yes, I remember it. And I also remember telling you that after you wrestled that match and wrestled 2 other matches, I think it was.
Oh, God.
I told you that you need to go to a training center and get your crap together because if you didn't, your career would have been over.
Wolf was about to fire me on the spot. This one match I had, I think it was, and again, that match was like, I think it was my 3rd or 4th match. It was a triple threat match with Dirtbag Dan and Ryan Clancy. I remember, and you gave me the riot act outside the parking lot, and my family is standing there like, oh, they wanted to like, oh my God, you had a match, you know, and they never seen me wrestle, and I'm getting yelled at, and I'm just like, oh my God.
But the only reason I yelled
it was the best thing. No,
the only reason I yelled at you is because I seen talent in you.
Yes.
And I knew it could come out if you would just go to a training center and work on what you needed to work on. And it was just a little thing. It was just a little thing. You got the mouth. You know how to run the mouth. You know how to work in that ring. It's a shame you got. No, I won't go there. But I can see you and me. I can see you and me be a tag team.
Yeah, like
I can see you and me tag up, but can we get a
I
new
I
manager?
can manage that.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. I mean, I remember that night, and I was just like, man, like, oh my god, I'm getting chewed out. But I never took it any offense to it. I was like, oh my god, this is what they talk about in the business. Like, you got to pay your dues. This is what you got to do. This you got to listen to this. You got to understand. And I reached out to Mark Nest, and you gave me that information for Mark Nest
Yeah.
at the dungeon. And I started working with people. I got to work with like a few people that even wrestle right now, that we still wrestle with and stuff, that still work at Mark Met's dungeon. And I'm so ever grateful for that, because it taught me so much. Like, even though I trained at CZW, but this gave me like the for real fundamental, like, hey, no one ever came up to me and go, what do you want to do? And then let's go from there. And I was like, well, I just, I'm like squeaky clean good guy at the time, but I was like, I always knew I wanted to be heel, and Wolf knew that in me, and he's like, yeah, let's tell him, and I told him, and they were like, all right, let's work on this, let's do this, let's do that,
And they put you as one of the best heel managers out there.
Oh God,
in the independent organization. I mean, the hat guy. I might break on the hat guy and make fun of the hat guy, just like I make fun of Al and everybody else, but I don't mean nothing by it. The reason I do what I do and make fun of people, or I can make fun of people, but I can get real serious sometimes about when you're messing up. I brought you to the show. At WWA. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was my say to Dino and them hey, this guy can work. Let's give him a chance.
Yeah.
And then turns around and you have a problem and you can't get to where you need to be. I need to say, hey, look, man, I need either to light a fire under you or make you disappear.
Yes, and luckily you did the first thing, where you lit a fire under me, and I took it very serious, because wrestling means the world to me. It really does. And I mean, God, like, I don't remember life without wrestling. It's not like one of those things I woke up on. I was like 13 years old and be like, oh, I want to be a wrestler. Like, no, like, I knew it all my life. You know what I mean? And so when Wolf said these words to me, and I'll never forget that night. It was cold as shit outside. I remember that. I was freezing but getting scolded. And I was like, all right, let me get to Mark. Let me call this guy. And Mark was like, yeah, come on up. It was at this barn. And I'm thinking it's gonna be like NXT. Well, I'm thinking it's gonna be like this performance center like thing, and it's like, no, it's just this barn with like and if you ever been there, you'll know what I'm talking about, or anyone listening or watching, you'll know what I'm talking about. How it is there. It's very old school. Yeah, it's a dungeon, baby. I'm dungeon proud, baby. It's very old school. And I was like, oh man, yeah. This is what the documentaries are about.
Can I ask you about this comment?
Yeah.
It says Motor City, those guys have been my boys since 2013 or so.
Oh God. So when I first discovered TNA, I don't know the exact years. That's why I said 2013 or so. When I first discovered TNA wrestling as a whole, with the 6-sided ring and all that, Motor City Machine Guns were like my boys. I was like, oh my God, these guys, Chris Sabin and Skipper. I was like, these guys are fucking amazing. Sorry for cursing. They were amazing.
No, wasn't that amazing on Friday night?
God. Yeah, and I was like, that's what got me into TNA. Believe it or not, that's what got me into TNA was Motor City Machine Guns. Me and my friend Chaz, we used to go to bars and go Motor City and do the pose like for no reason. And so it was like a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I watched it today. I didn't even watch it live on Friday, and I heard about it. So this morning when I woke up, after the triple WA event and stuff, I woke up this morning and I was like, all right, let me watch the second half of SmackDown because I DVR it and all that. And I seen the moment happen. I actually got watery eyed. I was like, oh my God, to see
It's cool,
them
right?
yeah, it was just like it was a big moment to me. And then they doubled it with the Uso reunion. I'm just like, what are you doing to me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We knew the Usos were going to be getting back together, though.
Yeah.
yeah. I know it was gonna happen, but to couple it with the Motor City Machine Guns impromptly, because they were just doing a number one contender match, and then the bad bloodline comes out and talking all that shit and was like, okay, let's do this now. And then freaking what's the general manager name?
Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis, who has history with them in TNA. Like no, I know you guys. Let's not do this right now.
Yeah.
Let's not do this right now. And then who was it? Saban that said it? That was like, no, let's do this. And then they won the
WWE is
title.
on fire right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was one of the. And I told Hat Guy this earlier. I was like, dude, you gotta watch SmackDown. It was one of the best SmackDown endings I've seen in a while.
When you're putting on can't miss TV,
Yeah,
like that. When you get people, you know what I mean. That I can't. There was Keith and I started this podcast because WWE we hadn't watched Raw or SmackDown in months and months.
Oh wow!
And I was telling Al, don't fucking buy into it anymore. And
Yeah.
when we're done with this conversation, I would like to speak with everybody's permission for a minute, because to have everybody here, I have to shoot and tell my truth. And we'll once we're off this topic, I will do that. I don't want to disrespect.
Yeah. It was like 7 a.m. I watched this today, and I'm just like,
Awesome.
I'm afraid to say I had tears in my eyes when I seen them win the titles, because like I said, Motor City Machine Guns brought me to TNA. I wouldn't have known about an AJ Styles. I would have known about. I mean, eventually I would have, but Motor City Machine Guns were my dudes. That's what brought me to TNA, and it was so cool.
Do you believe in Joe Hendry?
I don't believe in that dude. Like, come on now. I believe in JT Cage. I believe in that guy.
I believe in the Wolfman. I believe. You know what? Now, let me say something really serious. JT Cage. JT Cage. When you get in that ring, when you walk into the building to get ready to do the show.
Okay.
Right now you're JT Cage. You're not JT Cage. You're who you are.
Right.
We don't want to get your real name out there or whatever, you know. Joe Smo from Kokomo or whatever. You know, but when you walk in that building and you get ready to wrestle, there's a switch that comes on.
Yeah.
And when that switch comes on, then you become who you are. You become that JT Cage. I become the Wolfman. Now, when you leave the building, who are you? Are you that JT Cage that's in that ring? Are you the JT Cage that has to live amongst everybody and not be a showman?
I'm the JT
Cage all the time.
Yeah, I'm the JT Cage that leaves it kind of like behind. But then when I get to my destination, because as you know, me and John, who's Hat Guy, we manage a bar. We go back to the bar, and then it's like they try to bring it out of us. But no, I try to leave it behind. So here's a funny thing. So I don't miss shows usually, you know what I mean? And in 5 years, In 5 years, I missed 3 shows.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's all I
One
can
was last year. One was last year, and 2 was because of my
Last 2 months.
yeah, things that were going on.
Mhm.
We talked about it.
I was so like anxietied up going into this last night because I never missed 2 shows in a row, and I was like, oh my god, like, and can I do this? Can I, you got all the thoughts in your head, and a moment happened where the national anthem ended, and I knew me and Hat had to come out.
Mhm.
To come out, address the crowd and everything, and I think 5 minutes before that, it was the longest 5 minutes of my life, like Hat's life, that we're just like, man, oh my god, like this is weird, like.
What am I
And
doing
then,
here?
and then my music, and then I purposely did my old bad guy music when I first became Ruin of It All.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the music, was it was my old bad guy music. Yeah, that 6 feet music, and then when it kicked in, and instantly my eyes welled up, like no lie, my eyes welled up, like oh my god, I got emotional. And then I'm getting emotional talking about it. And I walked through the curtain and everyone started booing. Everyone just started booing, and then it was like, okay, I'm back.
So the professor made fun of the fact that you gave me a fist bump in the ring, but I know it was you were trying very hard not to hug me.
Just make it between you and I. Yes,
you were going to hug me, and you fist bumped me instead, which I appreciate.
No, I said I should have hugged you as a joke.
Yeah.
You
wanted to hug me. You had tears in your eyes.
Can I shoot for a minute? Because I feel like this is the moment for me to shoot. Can I
Go
shoot?
for it.
Do I
You know how to shoot? Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's a podcast. Who cares? We could do it.
This gentleman on the bottom of the screen to my left, this gentleman at the bottom of my screen on my right.
Mm-hmm.
You've ever enjoyed a word out of my mouth on commentary, you have them to thank. Because that gentleman on my left was the guy that gave me this opportunity in the first place.
Oh my god, we're going here.
That gentleman on my we're shooting now.
All right.
That gentleman on my right saw what happened with the gentleman on my left who gave me the opportunity, and he said, come work for me, and gave me the opportunity to be in that promotion when he left it. I am only in this business because of these 2 gentlemen right here, and they deserve their flowers, if flowers there are to give.
Oh man,
I will work on as long as JT Cage is a heel, I will always do a work, and I will piss on him, and we will do whatever we need to do. And I always say, if Wolf and JT Cage are going to work again, I would love. That's what's going to get me out of the booth. If anything's going to get me out of the booth and get me to be in a physical role, anything else, JT Cage and I have joked every once in a while about Hell in a Cells or whatever the fuck else.
Oh yeah.
If there's a guy that I'm going to work with, it's going to be these 2 gentlemen. If nothing else, if anything else happens to me in this business, the first time that I do anything physical, if it's not these guys, then fuck it, I'm not doing anything physical ever, because they gave me the opportunity, and that's what's so important in this business. Somebody who gives you an opportunity, which is what we just talked about for the last 20 minutes or so. Somebody believes in you and gives you an opportunity, as somebody who, didn't have a lot of people believing in him outside of his family.
Yeah.
Much of my life, to have these guys who are strangers to me believe in me, that is important as shit. And hey, Al, let's put Al over for that too. Al didn't know me for Adam when we first met. Al just believed in me from, wow, this is a guy that sounds smart to wrestling when we were fans. And now here the fuck we are. I mean, we're shooting, so let's shoot all the way.
Well,
if you're going to say something.
Well,
Wow.
I'm just flabbergasted at you guys. Give us the kudos, but you
deserve
guys brought yourself to the show. You
Yeah.
guys made it what you are now. You started out. You had your own podcast. You guys were smart enough to reach out and try to get other guys in the business.
Yep.
A lot of times workers won't help workers.
Yeah.
True.
A lot of times back in the day, a worker would not help a worker because they were afraid that worker was going to take their spot. Okay. I've been in Triple WA probably close to at least 29 years.
30 years.
Yeah. Okay. And within the last 3 years, I haven't been able to get in that ring. And you know how hard it is to come to a show. Now, JTK, you were smart about this. When you were sick, you stayed away.
Mm-hmm.
You were smart enough to stay
It was
away.
very tough, though.
And I understand that. But with me, when I got sick and that, I still had responsibility because I owned the wrestling ring. Without my wrestling ring, they could find a ring anywhere. But without my ring at the time, they wouldn't have had a show.
Right.
I mean, I was in the hospital. I came out the hospital the day before the show. We loaded the truck, and I came to the show.
Wow.
Didn't work. But they found out I was sick because of my big mouth daughter and sister. And it's been almost
on you though with that.
It's been almost 2 years that I haven't been able to.
to.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years that I haven't been in that ring, in Triple WA ring, except for
Right.
when I get in there to tighten the ropes or referee or something like that. Even refereeing, I'm not being able to do the refereeing deal because they're looking out for me. They don't want to see anything happen to me.
Right. Right.
But I am.
No,
If
don't.
I didn't feel like I was physical enough to do it, I wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
I am ready to get back in that ring, and I'm ready to tear it up.
Yeah.
If I gotta-
man.
If I gotta be the nastiest, the heck with Wolfman. Let's go back to Canadian Wolfman.
That's what I'm saying, baby.
You
That's
guys
what I'm
never
saying.
seen the Canadian Wolfman. Now, I worked one of the, well, I worked more than one of, I worked one of the greatest wrestlers in the business, and that was Terry Funk.
Hell yeah.
And that was in the beginning, that was in the beginning of my career.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I
Mm-hmm.
worked almost a year in Eastern Championship Wrestling, and I can show you videos of matches I had in Eastern Championship Wrestling, and all I did was got my ass kicked. I didn't get to touch the guys.
Bill Carpenter.
And that's what's wrong with this business today. These younger guys coming up,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know what paying dues actually
No.
means.
Oh.
Setting up, tearing down the ring, doing the job, doing a squash match. I probably did at least 50 to 100 squash matches
Hell
when
yeah.
I first started in this business.
Oh, well, real quick, like my family for a while didn't even come to shows because they're like, JT, you always lose. I'm like, well, that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like, just stay tuned. Like, you know?
Yeah.
That's what the business is all about.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you win.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It does matter to certain people, but it doesn't matter if you hold a belt. But
Right.
if you hold a belt, the only reason you're holding that belt is because the company that you're working for believes in you.
Oh, God, stop.
And if they don't believe in you, they're not going to give you a chance to hold
Yeah.
anything. Okay. And
Mhm.
now I know this is you guys' show, but I'm going to say something that I honestly believe, and I've seen it in a lot of different organizations. When somebody owns an organization, the first thing they want to do, if they are a wrestler,
Yep.
they
Hmm.
want to
There we
hold
go.
that title.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
You
full.
own a company. If you own a company, you don't belong holding that title.
No.
Give the boys that you have working for you a chance to make what they, who they are, and what they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
I
I talked to
wow.
a gentleman last night, a young gentleman that understands this
Wow.
business very well, I think, last night about, there are guys that want to play promoter and
yeah,
want to be in here to just do what they think is right. And then there are the folks that want to be in it long term. And that gentleman certainly wants to be in it long term. And I'm going to put that gentleman over, and I'm going to put his brother over. The shadow and the light. I talked to
Yeah.
Abdul
Yeah.
last night.
Please.
I talk to Lou Nick and I talk to Abdul Sadiq almost every show. And I would love to debut as a manager, obviously, in a match between you guys, because, again, I'm not in business without you guys. But Abdul Sadiq and Lou Nick, those are guys that I would go all in on as a manager, as an advocate, as a Paul Heyman, whatever else. Those guys are somebody that if they commit to this, if we get them some promo time, if we round them off, those guys are going to be Hardy Boys in terms of as a tag team,
Yes.
single. If you break them off,
Let me tell you. Look, Abdul Sadiq and Lou Nick. Like I'm telling you, I've been in the ring with them both, and I was just like doing business with them last night, and I'm just like, these guys like just came. It's like a breath of fresh air that
Yep.
they came here,
And they don't
they're
even
loose
and
cannons.
know yet.
They're loose
yeah,
cannons, though.
and we
They're-
haven't even touched the potential
Yeah.
of what they can do.
Yeah,
and
this would
and
be a
if
shot.
we're gonna shoot, let's shoot. Like
They're
they
loose cannons.
really are. And they really are. And I the opportunity I got to have in there with Lou Nick, I was actually nervous at first. I was like, oh my god, this dude could fucking work. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Ooh, excuse this guy could
There
freaking
goes.
work.
Sorry, Facebook.
And
Not that he's
Oh,
get.
And we're
Oh,
far
so
enough in that Facebook
they
shouldn't
could
be looking at us.
oh, okay. So they could freaking work. And this dude is like, okay, let's work, bro. And we went, and I'm just like, it was for the extreme title when I had it at the time. And it was one of my most fulfilling matches because it was just like, man, like we were doing some stuff out there, and you were telling that story with me. You know what I mean? Like it's not about how many moves you're gonna do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not about how many moves or getting our shit in and stuff like that. Like no, it needs to be about like what are we telling this audience? What is the audience responding to? Let's go. I'm not a man that's going to be like, okay, let's do punch for punch. Like, what are we doing? Like, no, you know what I mean? Let's get our bullet points in, and then we fill it in from there, and let's read the crowd. And that's one of the things Wolfman had taught me. So like it's like let's read this crowd. Like don't give me a bunch of stuff because I ain't gonna remember half it anyway. So let's just do the bullet points and get there, and then read the crowd. Listen, just listen. If I can tell anyone, just listen to the crowd
There you go.
and just go. You know.
Yeah, my thought has always been if I could get to the point where there's a match where just one punch to the face is memorable,
Mhm.
I've done my job. I've done my job. at
Yes.
that point, because you're right. It's not about how many moves you do. It's about what those moves
Matter.
mean and
Yep.
matter to an audience. I mean, Arn Anderson. Arn
Mhm.
Anderson would be a shitty worker in terms of what people look for now. But Arn Anderson, for what Arn Anderson did, every time Arn Anderson did something, it fucking mattered. That's why I tell new workers now. I always
By the
say,
way, he's one of my favorite workers. I love Arn Anderson. He's one of my favorite workers. By the way,
I always say to new guys, go watch some Arn Anderson on the WWE Network, because if you can study Arn Anderson and understand Arn Anderson, you're gonna unlock the business. If you really understand.
Now, John West and I think it was that last match we had where he beat me for the Extreme title. It was crazy because the biggest move of that match was me just body slamming him.
Yeah.
If you remember, I just picked him up and body slammed him, and the crowd was like, "Oh shit, JT, little JT just body slammed John West," and I held him for a little bit too, and then it was like
over enough.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh shit, the crowd popped because I was like, it wasn't even a big deal. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal when I did it, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna hold you a little bit, and then I'm gonna slam you, and it's just. You don't gotta do all this crazy like, oh, let's jump through like Ricochet and stuff. And I appreciate what Ricochet and them do.
Sure. Athleticism, you have to.
But you don't have to go crazy.
You don't have to be a spot monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't. You don't have to do it. You can
that's what Ricochet and them guys are. They're quick, they're fast, they're boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And fans can't follow that.
No, I can't. I'm like, I'll watch some stuff on it. I'm not pointing anyone out like AEW or even NXT or stuff like that. And I'm like, and I watch it and it's like, oh my God, am I like in the wrong what I'm doing? I'm like, no, if you can work a match and you can make a body slam, you get the biggest pop, like then I'm not doing anything wrong then. You know what I mean? Like,
unpopular opinion. I watched a lot of early ROH because I became a CM Punk mark before CM Punk over with WWE and all that. And I was watching the ROH shows because back in the day you basically had to buy the full show to get the guy you wanted to watch. And I would watch those shows and I would be like, a lot of this isn't memorable to me, because I have a lot of guys going 100 miles an hour from match one to the main event. And if everybody goes 100 miles an hour, then nobody's going 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Because I can't pick anything out. I can't say, well, this was better than this. Pacing matters.
One of my favorite matches I've ever done in 3WA was, and I'm not saying this because you're here, I'm going to say this because it's true, was with Wolf. The match I lost the 2-year reign of the 3WA Hardcore title. It was just epic, bro. It was,
and I think that was by far the Professor's best call ever.
Yes,
if you go back and listen to that.
I will say,
oh my God, just everything about that.
Overall shows, but I don't think I've ever called
when you lost
this.
I'm telling you, I watched that match probably like more than any match I've ever watched of my own, and I don't like watching my own matches, but I remember watching that match back probably 30 times at this point. And just because the psychology was there, just everything, him, get your ass back in the ring, and just everything, because he was mad because I did the ether. The last match we had was the Halloween show, and now here we are months later, and still can carry that momentum. He's pissed at me because I ethered him and stuff, and he's so pissed off at me. And it was so cool, man. If we're gonna shoot, but like it was so cool, and man, like it was such a good. I love that match, and it was the first time I ever bled in a match, and just everything, the plates to the head, and just. We had a cadence, and we didn't plan too much. We just went out there, had fun, and that's what we said to each other. Remember that, Wolf? We were like, We're going out there. Let's just have some fun.
Beginning
Yeah.
and end is all we needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beginning and end.
Everything
Beginning
else
and
in
end.
that ring, everything else in that ring came together and it made the match what it was.
Yeah. I
Uh,
still to this day watch this match and like smile ear to ear, and obviously we have both of our signed doors.
yeah, mine's down at the barn.
Yep, I got mine in my living room.
And I also still have the bloody cheese grater. And let me see your forehead. Have you still got that scar?
No, I didn't leave a scar. Luckily, it didn't leave a scar.
Well,
nothing
the
like
next
that.
time I wrestle you, I'll make sure I let one there.
All right, guys. Well, we've gone an hour and 15 minutes. And
Oh yeah, we're going over.
so yeah,
Yeah, I just
3
want
hours.
to say it's my favorite call because I look at that call and I can only see fly specks, and the only fly speck on that call is that I can yell at myself and go, "I made it sound like your reign was equivalent to Roman Reigns versus a Bruno Sammartino."
Bro, they throw me off a balcony.
I was
when
screaming
the
no.
owner of a company throw you a balcony.
I was screaming no. This guy puts him through a door, and yeah.
Nobody notices that I fucked that up in the entrances but me.
Yeah.
That is my most perfect call.
Let me
match.
tell you something about that off the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Brother, when we were supposed to be enemies, and I'm shooting now. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I really hated you, I would have wanted to see you break your friggin' neck.
What?
But I was
mad at you when
I
you
was
did.
so friggin' worried when you hit that. You missed the table. The only
you
thing that
did.
broke that table
My ass.
was your
My
leg.
ass got it.
His
Yes,
legs.
your
Yeah.
leg. You did not. I mean, and it was a rough landing for you.
Yeah.
I was super worried at you were hurt.
Oh.
And then
And you
instead
know
of you
what's
being
funny?
hurt,
I landed and they all came over and I go, "No, I'm fine. How's Hat?" Because
Yeah,
Hat
'cause
was
he
okay in his
fell
shoulder.
and got hurt.
Yeah, because
the
I
hat fell over.
The whole time.
I was back
He
when
fell
we
over
sat
a
in the
wheelchair.
audience and did the commentary
Because he
after.
tripped over a freaking wheelchair, and I'm like,
He's not okay,
his shoulder. I'm telling you, that night, so I landed and everything happened, and Lance and Carlucci and Tyler and everyone, "JT, you all right?" I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. What happened with Hat? What's going on? Like, I didn't know, because from when I was up top, it looked like he was holding his heart. He was holding his shoulder.
Yeah,
I thought he was
me
holding
too.
his
Right.
heart. That he was having a heart attack.
That's
and
what I
all I
thought.
wanted to do was get down and see what was going on. So when I got thrown, and Paul even goes, "You sure? You sure? You sure?" And they throw me, and I'm like, "Yeah," like. I'm like, oh my god! Like, so I get to the hospital in my gear and everything, and Hat's shoulder is like into his ear. And
Right.
I'm like, oh my god! Yeah,
You know that Paul did not want to throw you off that balcony.
no, he didn't. He didn't. I made him. I made him.
Take the initial throw. He said, "The heck with it. It's your decision. You made it.
Yeah,
You
he circled twice. If you watch the video, he circled twice, and I'm like, just throw me, because I just wanted to get down to see if he was all.
Yeah, you motherfucker. You motherfucker put
I know. I know.
Because you're like, I'm gonna do a Mick Foley to get back to this venue again.
I'll tell you what, I'll never forget that moment. I'll never repeat it. Probably.
No, you shouldn't.
But it
Not
was
that lucky.
it,
No
it
one
was
was that
something. I
lucky.
had my moment. I had my extreme moment. I probably won't do it again. Just like I probably won't do thumbtacks again, because I had those in my ass for like a while. Like I probably won't do any of that.
I can't imagine what that was being live.
What'd you say, Dave?
All right, I gotta wrap it up because like they're about to close here where I'm at.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I mean, can't imagine what that was like live, but just watching it on video, I mean, that was scary and impressive at the same time. I mean, that was incredible, that fall you took.
That was insane. And the funny part about that was, Dave, is that right after that, like right after he went through, and then there was people making sure he was okay, and then there was people making sure Hackeye was okay. The second he went down through the table, the professor and I are like in the corner, we're calling the match, and something else fell off. It was like a big bag of something or whatever, and the crowd thought that Paul had overshot it a little bit, and he fell too for like a split second. And it was so there was a initial gasp for Cage when oh, and then there was a second gasp right after that, oh, because they thought Paul fell too. And I apologize for muting you guys, but I mean I wanted to hear what Dave had to say.
Well, I understand, but that was a big mask.
Yeah.
It was a mask that fell off. That what the heck you call him? The guy with the big axe.
Yeah, like a figurine or
He's an
something.
ex-
It was some kind of figurine, but
It felt after, I guess I kicked it as I got thrown.
as you were going.
Yeah, it was one of those things. And I was just like,
Unbelievable.
oh. Now, and you know what's funny? Ever since then, like, I know they have shows there, and that's fine, but they keep trying to recreate it, and it's like, no, you can't recreate the original.
No.
You
I
can't.
haven't been there since. I don't know about you guys, but I have not been to Bushhold since.
No,
Yeah,
I've
you
been
see,
there. I was there once.
You are
I was
you are the luckiest man on the planet that match. And I tell people this to this day, you go watch. Cage got thrown off that balcony through a table, and it's awkward as shit. And
Yeah.
I think somebody who doesn't understand anything about wrestling will go, well, that was an awkward bump. And the only guy that got hurt was John,
John,
the
yeah.
old fucking manager.
Dislocated his shoulder.
And as I'm doing this bump, I'm like, he's hurt. Now I don't
Yeah,
know
you're
what's
good.
wrong. I'm thinking he's having a heart attack because he's like
Right.
this, like
Yeah.
holding his like, and I'm like, and he's had heart issues, and I'm like,
Right.
so I'm
And I
up
broke
there. I
kayfabe.
don't know what's going on.
I broke
then-
kayfabe, went over to see what was wrong with him.
Yeah, I know you did too. And then finally, when I seen Paul start to chase me, that's when I was like, okay, we're still gonna go through with this, so it's not a heart attack. I'm guessing, and like, let's go. And go
All
see
All right,
what's
guys.
going on.
Well, it's appropriate. We've had the guys from Inside the Squared Circle who are on every Wednesday, and they are on for 90 minutes. They start at 6:00 and they're on until 7:30. So how appropriate is that we have almost a 90-minute version of Around the Turnbuckle here with these guys, because they do it. They sit there, and you guys, I urge you guys to check them out on WNEP 16. Also, they're on the Wolfman's Facebook page.
Yeah.
And
Get on the
you can
Wolfman's Facebook page if you're
call
not local in Pennsylvania, that you can get that channel. Just
and
get on the
wrestlers.
Wolfman's Facebook page.
Any wrestlers who watch this later, call them up, man.
Yeah.
Talk some wrestling. Talk about what's going on in your career. I'm sure they would love to hear from you guys and say, hey, it's been a while, Wolf.
Hey, I could talk wrestling all day, every day.
Oh, I know that. That's why I got to wrap this up.
Like, seriously.
JT Cage. I got one thing to say to you.
Go ahead.
What's up, Wolf? What's up?
I got one thing to say to you, JT Cage.
Yes.
I love you.
Oh,
There it is.
all right. God, is this on the air? Is this on the air?
Yeah, we're on the air yet.
Yeah.
I love you too.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh my
I
God.
love all you guys. Every single one of you.
All right. Well, Dave, I'll give you the last word, brother.
I'm just gonna say that I appreciate y'all having me on here, and Wolfman and JT Cage, they gave both Al and Professor gave you the shot, but man, you took off with it. You're doing a great job, and Wolfman gave me the opportunity. It was just going to be like a one-time thing for me, just to come on the show and just say, hey, it's something I did. It's just like I never expected that I would be doing this week after week. So everybody's watching this out there, give us a call, man. We love talking to everybody. We talk wrestling, a little bit of everything. We even put the phone number up on the screen, so
The whole show.
Yeah. And
So inside the squared circle is Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. Around the turnbuckle is Sundays at 6 o'clock.
And
Sunday
Cage
at
Hour
6 o'clock.
every day. Cage Hour every day.
Can I finish the sentence?
See me on Facebook.
Next week,
a color commentator too.
next week, next week on Around the Turnbuckle, we have Lawless James Barrett from Alabama, our old friend Greg Thundercat. Send him to us, Professor, so we get to talk to one of his colleagues down there in Alabama. That is Lawless James Barrett. What's that?
Let's put Greg's comment up. Greg, put us a comment.
I see it, Wolf.
There he is. Wow, you guys have a star-studded cast this evening. Yeah, where you been?
Yes, we do.
Lawless James Barrett. I told him about you guys. He did, and he will be here next week.
Man who got on a plane to come out and talk to us and be here in person.
And he's coming back. And he's coming back.
There we go.
For JT Cage, the Hat Guy, the Wolfman, David Motorman, and the Professor, I am Big Al. This was Around the Turnbuckle inside the squared circle. And we'll see you guys next time.
You think you know me?
Calculations are correct.